Hi guys, thank you so much for having me, Shelly, and all of Girls Night Live. It is a huge honor to be a part of this. I'm absolutely all about woman empowering women, and I think this is such a great way to really get our voices heard, especially in today's day and age where social media does have so much power. This is a really awesome opportunity, so thank you. And thank you guys for all being here. So, as you guys heard, I am the founder of Happy Heart, Happy Home. We are a 100% vegan animal sanctuary. So what that means is we rescue farm animals and all animals really from slaughter and neglect situations and give them a happy home for the rest of their days. We do not adopt out. So once an animal comes into our care, they will remain with us for the rest of their days, whether it's months, weeks, years, whatever. Their place is always here. In addition to our home-based property where we're at now, we also rent space at a local farm for 3 of our other horses. So unfortunately, I can't show them to you, but I'm sure if you look on our social media, which is listed in the chat, I believe, then you can look up the Girl Gang, and they are our off-site horses. But starting off, this is Hamilton and Oatmeal, 2 male cows rescued from the dairy industry. Both of them came from different situations, but they are very bonded and they're awesome. They're huge. As you can see, they're eating hay. But yeah. So this is the start of our property. A lot of what you see here, I have done myself. We have done as a team, from fencing to building barns. It's really cool to be able to learn as you go. You kind of have to learn to become your own veterinarian, your own handyman, your own everything. I always say if someone reaches out to me and asks, how can I start my own sanctuary? The best piece of advice I can give is always be able to rely 100% on yourself, because these animals are going to need you at any time of the day. It could be 4 a.m., you could be out here alone, and you could have an emergency, and you have to know your own strengths and know your own power, and don't ever doubt yourself. So this has really helped me grow into the person I am today. It is a lot of work, but it's something that I would never change for the life of me. I mean, I'm just so grateful to be able to do this and be a part of this, movement, because sanctuaries, you might not hear about them as much if you're not in the mainstream animal rescue world, but they are becoming more of a thing, and it's becoming more well known that, what veganism is and why it's important that we protect these animals and animal welfare. And it's just really interesting to watch the world shift and be a part of that shift. So I'm going to try and give you guys a little tour. If you've ever watched me live, then you just know my ADHD takes over. So I'm trying to keep my mind going in the right direction. But if I lose track of things, I apologize. Feel free to ask me questions. My board member and friend, Catherine, is videoing me.
Hi.
So she will read the questions to me. So anyway, some of our chickens, like I always say, I always get nervous, to be honest with you, when I have people over, because in my mind, this place is not only the animal sanctuary, but it's my sanctuary. So you also, sometimes I get nervous of judgment, and things don't look perfect. I do a lot of the things myself, and like I said, I fix a lot of things myself. So yeah, it's not perfect, but I promise you it is as happy as it makes me feel. I do believe the animals here are as happy as I think they are. And yeah, so don't mind any poop, I guess. So this is our misfit barn. Oh, hi guys. This is Allie and Kevin. Allie and Kevin were rescued the week before Christmas. They are 2 little lambs. We think they're brother and sister, but they were in a trailer outside of a livestock auction, and they were going to be sold off to be lamb, you know, like lamb dinner. And their mom was sold in the auction already. And these two little babies were sitting in the trailer all alone and cold. And we were so grateful that we had animal warriors on the ground there that said, hey, Lauren, like, can you take these babies if we are able to save them? And they were able to find the farmer at the auction and get them surrendered to us, which, you know, it doesn't always happen that way, guys. Like, trust me, my heart has been broken more times than I can tell you, but there are rare occasions where little miracles do happen. Like this little guy right here. This is Magoo. Magoo is kind of a star in his own right. Magoo was born with contracted front legs, so he walks like this. Magoo got transported from Florida to us last November. He had a loving family in Florida that just couldn't manage his, you know, disabilities, and we were able to take him in. Magoo is very special, and he's very bonded to me. He got very sick when he was very young, and he was in the hospital for 30 days. And for every single day, I went and visited him, and I'd lay in his stall with him, and he got better. And now here he is, and he wants all the attention from everybody. Hi, guys. Sorry, Magoo. But yeah, so this is kind of our misfit barn, our baby barn. Magoo kind of looks over the babies. Oops, excuse me, Magoo. Looks over the new babies when they come to us and helps them grow and get adjusted to their new life. This is our paddock area. You can see we have all our barns laid out kind of all close together, which is nice because I can easily work. And here we have a very special little group of misfits. We have Miracle, who is a 1-year-old little steer. He was rescued last January. We have Zoran and these 3 orphan little piglets that the mom rejected them, and I had to hand raise them. As you can see, they're ornery. They're a couple months old. And then Bonnie and Clyde. Look at Miracle. Look at him. Miracle was a very, very special case. Miracle was a very special case. He was also discarded. He was left for dead at an auction. And I remember seeing him there, and I thought he was dead. He was laying on the ground completely motionless. And I looked at the man that was working the auction, and I said, what are you going to do with this animal? And he said, oh, we'll just shoot him. I said, can I please take him? And he looked at me, and he just went, like, get out of here, like, go. Grab him, go. And, he was a baby, but he was still like a baby cow. So I'm like, I remember picking him up. The wind's going to shut that. Picking him up and running him to my truck, thinking, like, please just make it to the hospital. Please just make it to the hospital. 45-minute drive. I don't think I hit the brake once. And we got there, and after 2 months in the hospital, he was able to come home. He couldn't walk for the first month of his life. I mean, it was a very, very rough time. There's so many times where I thought today's going to be the day that I get the news. Today's going to be the day that, we have to make a gut-wrenching decision. And here he is. So that's our Miracle, and he's turning 1 on January 23rd. We have a very special little family that actually just came to us last week. So many times, especially in any agriculture industry, it's really tough to keep families together. Babies are sold, babies are, separated from their mom at birth. So it's just very special when we are able to keep a family together. And last week, I was working a case with 2 fellow sanctuaries, my good friends, and we were able to save They're very skittish. Some of them talk loud. Talk softly. This beautiful mama and her two babies. This is Mama Nellie and babies Lilo and Stitch. She is an amazing mom. I can't even begin to tell you. Just watching them together, she is a fierce, fierce woman. She is, I take so much inspiration from these animals, and, just getting to witness this beautiful lives that she created. And, it's incredible. Right, Nellie? I'm sorry. You're such a good mama, though. So I'll leave them be, I'll leave them nurse, but that is a very, motherhood it's so fierce. And I don't think people always realize how much that translates. It's not just us humans that feel that maternal bond, it's all species. And it's really the strongest love that there is. So, a lot of times that's what's not a lot of times, all the time, that's what drives me, because everyone here is my children, and I would do anything for them. I would, they're my priority. They're my top priority. There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for them. So, yeah. We're gonna take a little walk up to the horse pasture. My whole property's on a hill, so bear with us. It's a little bit of an exercise. I get my booty workouts in every day, every time I walk up this hill. But so I guess a little bit more about what started Happy Heart, Happy Home. I originally graduated high school with plans to move to New York City, study dance, and maybe do some fashion designing on the side. That was my plan. I used to get dressed up every day for work, or every day for school. I'd be the one walking around high school hallways in heels. I don't know what I was thinking, but that was my plan. I went to a college in North Jersey originally, and my main focus was dance. Very, very quickly, that pressure of having to look a certain way took over, and my battle with anorexia started and really peaked. And it was a tough time. It was a very depressing time. I don't drink, so it was very hard to kind of get into that college, that college feel. I had trouble making friends, but mostly, my body was suffering. I was neglecting my body of everything it needed. And I just remember being rushed to the hospital one day, and they wanted to put me on a feeding tube. And I told him, I was like, I don't want that. And the doctor looked me square in the eye, and he said, there's quicker ways to kill yourself than what you're currently doing. And I thought, okay, if that's what happens, that's what happens. I don't care. And I transferred home. And I just remember sitting up one night thinking okay, I need something to get me out of this. I need something to give me my will to live and, want to be better and get better. And I decided I was going to rescue a horse. My dad had a horse when he was 18. So he always talked about it. I always loved horses, but I was never around horses. I had a couple dogs and hamsters growing up. I never knew anything about horses. But I was like, all right, I need a friend. And I remember I rescued Celtic, who we're getting up there now. But he was an off-the-track thoroughbred. He was 300 pounds underweight. He was neglected. He was a little, of course, with any neglect, there was some, anxiety and PTSD that he was feeling. And I will say this till the day I die, that he saved my life. I wouldn't be here without him. He gave me my reason every day to wake up, gave me a reason to eat, because I had to be able to be strong enough to go see him. not only that, but I had to help him get healthy. I had to help him gain weight, which was, you know, correlated in my brain. And, you know, I just realized, like, hey, I want to be here for him. He needs me. And he's my best friend. He's my soulmate. I have his initials on one side of my face because, you know, there's nobody in this life I could ever, he's just my everything. And because of him, that's how Heavy Heart Happy Home came to be. I wanted to give back to the animals for what they gave to me. So this, you know, I'm just a glorified poop picker upper and feeder. That's just my job. This is their story. This is their life. This is their mission. I'm just the one putting it in the words for people, you know, and they give back to me so much more than I could ever give to them. So, you know, horses especially have a very special bond with. This girl over here is Faye. She just came to us. Hi, Faye. Sorry, honey, I know. She just came home after 2 months of vet care, farrier care. She was an Amish plow horse that was discarded and was going to be shipped to slaughter. She is the sweetest being, as you can tell. She has a couple ailments, as most animals in our care do. There's things that they need routine maintenance for, and daily medicine, and daily, you know, physical therapy, but it's so worth it. We do focus a lot on draft horses, Amish horses, or work horses that get used up their entire lives and then end up in kill pens, getting ready to ship to slaughter. I'm sorry. There's something very magical about being able to give them a retirement that, you know, just seeing that transition go from they're used to working 6 days a week, pulling heavy equipment, you know, not always knowing love, to letting, like, then they learn, like, oh, hey, I'm just here to eat, poop, and sleep, you know, and you just see this, like, weight fall off their shoulders, and you see that transition happen, and it's just wonderful. And there are times, you know, right when the pandemic started in March, we pulled 2 plow horses that were their legs had been so worn down that their life quality was so, there's nothing we could do to give them a happy life. There was nothing we could do to take their pain away and be able to give them, you know, the life that they deserved. And sometimes that's part of this rescue life. It's, you have to make these decisions for these animals that suck. You have to be the one that says, you know, I'm going to give you that dignity that you deserve, to pass on. And, you know, that's tough and it sucks, but it's also, it's like, if that's the best I can do for them, that I'll do that, you know, as much as I need to, because no animal deserves to die these, you know, horrifying deaths. And, you know, it's tough. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of heartbreak. I mean, I feel like 2020 really hit everybody, and, you know, you have to say goodbye a lot, but you do get a lot of special moments like this. So this is Faye. Hello. Faye's sponsor, I believe, is watching this. So hello. I won't disturb them. I just put this round bale of hay up here. But there's 6 of our horses. Angel is sleeping. She's in the pink coat. She takes a nap like an old lady, like same times every day. I could tell you her schedule better than I could tell you my schedule, but I don't want to disturb anybody. But we got Dolly, Bailey, LJ, Celtic, who's on the other side of the round bale, and Pegasus. And yeah, they get all up here to roam and play and do what they want to do. And yeah. Sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm happy to share this with you guys. I'll briefly walk you guys over to where the goat and the sheep barn is and try and explain a little bit more about what goes into the day-to-day life of running a sanctuary. It is as hard as it may seem, but also you never, like the saying, you'll never work a day in your life if you love what you do, is truly the essence of this. I never feel like I'm working. I never dread getting up early to come out here. I never dread being out here at 4 a.m, you know, finishing up my chores after I worked a day. You know, I still work a daytime job, so I love every part of it. You know, it's a lot of feeding. It's a lot of scoop and poop. There's a lot of medical care that goes into it. I do most of everything myself, so there's a lot of times where I'm pushing like that round bell out of my truck and it gets stuck on a flat spot. So there's a lot of times where I'm cursing at the air and, you know, being like, what did I do to get myself in this position? But it's always worth it, and it always gets done somehow, some way. It's a pretty awesome journey. It's 100% a pretty awesome journey, and like I said, it really helps me continue to keep myself in the best that I can be, because, you know, like any mental illness, you know, whatever your struggle is, it's not something that you just click off one day and say, okay, I'm all better, it's gone. No, there's still days where I wake up and, you know, like I'll look in the mirror and say, like, I don't know if I really want to eat today. And I have to be like, well, no, because if you're not here, Lauren, who's going to do this? Nobody, you know, like I have to be here. I have to be healthy. Even the days when I'm just plain old sick, you still got to be here, you know, still got to be, you know, taking care of these guys. So, you know, it's definitely not a job you get a day off from, but it's a job that you love thoroughly.
Do you want to tell them about like how many acres you have and roughly how many animals?
Yeah, so we have just under 10 acres, and we utilize another property, like I said. We have 11 horses in total in our care, which are, you know, split between here and then the other property. We have the 3 cows and then quite a few goats, sheep, pigs. We have an indoor cattery, which was supposed to be the master bedroom, but that is strictly for cats. So we have lots of rescue cats. We also rescue bunnies and chickens, ducks, turkeys, and of course dogs. So yeah, there's a healthy variety of everyone here. Lots of, you know, different learning curves. You know, I remember thinking, like, when we first started rescuing goats, that, you know, people always will be like, oh, well, goats can eat anything. They can eat a tin can. Not true. Goats have the most sensitive stomach you could imagine. They get constipated. Sometimes, like I swear, like, poop is like gold. Like, them going to the bathroom, you're like, yes, everything's healthy. Last week, actually, one of our goats had basically kidney stones, urinary calculi, and I had to sit with him and, you know, give him medicine, massage his tummy, you know, I swear, I've never loved bodily functions more than I do now. And even things like, you know, I know I have a ton of tattoos, but I personally hate needles. I do not like get my blood drawn. I don't want to get a shot for anything. Don't like them. And when I first started this, one of the big learning curves, I have to be able to give needles any day of the week. IV, intermuscular, sub-Q, under the skin. So that was a big challenge for me. And, you know, I remember the first couple months where it's a little rough, especially when your mind is telling you to, your mind's like, no, but you got to do it. So it's I lost my train of thought, but you know, it's a lot of learning as you go. It's a lot of on the fly. I work in the restaurant industry, and like on the fly, like it's the best terminology I could come up with. Can you fit through this little door, Catherine?
Yeah. We're just gonna squeeze through here.
Oh, everyone's sleeping. Everybody's sleeping. Sorry, guys. I don't want to wake you all up. So this is our goat and sheep barn. We have every different story you can imagine. They've come from hoarding situations, you know, slaughter-bound animals, neglect cases. We can walk out back actually, but
There's the king, Olaf.
no, that's his brother Tommy.
Oh, Tommy, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, there he is.
We got a Luna in there. Hi, Luna. Hi, Luna. So Luna's actually a very special little goat because I had rescued her brother Tuffy last spring, and Tuffy had everything in the world you could think of wrong with him. Bent front legs, you know, bent back legs. We tried everything we could. We tried everything we could for him, and he even had a life-changing surgery that had never been performed before, right? And they straightened his legs, and it worked. It was amazing, but unfortunately, due to a lot of times when animals are born with exterior deformities, they also have interior, you know, congenital issues going on that, you know, can't always be fixed, and Tuffy did pass away. And a couple months later, I got a message that his sister needed a home. So this is Tuffy's sister. Olaf. Olaf. You can't be up in everybody's face. Hi, Cole. You can go out into their play yard. Cole. Hi, Cole. Oh, thank you. Hi. Hi, Jade. One of the things about running a sanctuary, as I was talking about, is like you'll never be prepared for the amount of heartache that you're going to go through. You know, it's one of those things where you think like next time it's somehow going to be easier, and it's just not. It's something you can never be prepared for. It's really actually helped me grow in all my personal relationships as well, because you realize the things in life that you're going to settle for. And it's like, if I'm not going to settle for the treatment for an animal to be treated a certain way, I'm not going to settle for that for myself either. And, you know, I had to make a lot of tough decisions over the past year on, you know, avoiding toxic energy and keeping myself mentally in a good space, and, you know, self-healing and self-love. I mean, I know it's like always said and stuff like that, but it really does. You got to take care of yourself, you know. I remember telling my friend who's, you know, trying to take care of people and trying to fix people, it's an impossible task, because people tend to be a little bit self-destructive, and you can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink it. And, you know, I know for myself, I remember how many people told me, hey, Lauren, you got to stop what you're doing to your body. I didn't listen. You have to be able to just realize like how much love yourself enough to say, hey, I can't fix everybody. I can't save everybody. I can only do the best that I can do. And especially when you have lives that depend on you and your own happiness, you know? So there's so much that, you know, I wish I could. I always say I'm so grateful. Like, you'll see it if you follow us on our Instagram account or our Facebook. I'll always say I'm so grateful. And I truly mean that in every sense of the word. I just can't always express it enough. I mean, like, look, you just get to watch like these amazing sunsets, and you get to see these animals play on their jungle gym, and you're just like, wow, this makes up for every hard day that came before this, and every hard day that's going to come after this. Of course, 2020 being what it was, running a nonprofit was not always the easiest task. Cole, come here. Cole, do you want to come over here? Cole. So we lost, of course, like there wasn't a time to always ask for donations. I still pay for a lot of our feed and our hay out of my own pocket. And I work full time to do so. We had a lot of large medical cases, and there's vet bills that I'll be paying off for probably until I'm dead. So 2020 definitely did take its toll on not only our sanctuary, fellow sanctuaries, nonprofits in general, everybody in general. I mean, we're all in the same boat, right? So it's definitely been a little bit challenging. Because, I remember right when the pandemic started, someone asked me if I was going to stop rescuing animals, and it's just, that's not an option. If anything, when the pandemic happened, there was more and more people that couldn't take care of their animals anymore. There's more and more pleas for help, more and more opportunities that a lot of the times I do have to say no. And that's one of the hardest things about running a rescue is you can't say yes to everybody, right? But there's times when you can say yes. And if I can take that opportunity, I'll do whatever I have to. If I'm working 2 full-time jobs and, running the farm, that's what I got to do. But it was definitely, I'm hoping for 2021 to maybe we'll go get a little bit better. We'll see. You never know. But, so we're very, very grateful. I always say $1 means the world to an animal that didn't expect a second chance. Most of these animals here, they didn't think there was going to be a tomorrow, so they don't mind that their barn might not be perfect, or, things might not be perfect, but they're here, they're happy, they have food in their belly, they have a warm place to sleep, they got their vet care, and they got family members. Everyone here is bonded to somebody. We have family members by blood, and then we have family members by they just decided to bond, that they just bond together, and it's just an amazing thing to watch. Yeah. Be nice, Bella. Be nice, Bella. Bella.
You guys have a number of questions. Do you want me to feed them to you?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. So, Amy from Facebook Live, how many people does it take to run the rescue?
So primarily it is just me, and then I have a wonderful team of board members like Catherine, who helps to fill in with like extracurricular things, like she designing our calendar, and she's here. Like I honestly can't figure out Zoom for the life of me, so she helps me do things like that. And we have a board member, Michelle, who does animal transports all over. She's had 2 of our cows in the back of her Yukon before. One of our board members is a vet tech, and one helps with planning events. My mom, dad, and brother are huge parts of this. I talk about them all the time. My mom and dad are my heroes. They're both cancer survivors. My dad became disabled when I was 19 years old, and it was tough. That's why I actually started working as much as I did back then, because I needed to be able to help them. But in return, they have given me such inspiration. They're here almost every other day. My dad can't do a ton, but he gets such fulfillment out of doing what he can and taking care of the animals. And they babysit our little goat, Sammy, who's Sammy has all types of deformities of his legs. They babysit him on the weekends. So, you know, it's a very family oriented mission, and there's just a lot of love in between it. Other than that, we don't do volunteers. A lot of it due to COVID. Hello. A lot of it's due to COVID, and also, you know, just trying to keep the privacy for me and for the animals. You know, try and keep their schedules as much as I can the same.
That actually was the next question, is if you allowed visitors or volunteers at the farm. So no to volunteers. Normally
we will have a visitor day coming, like, fingers crossed, like, as long as you know, things calm down with COVID, we will have a visitor day this spring or summer. We'll actually probably try to have 2 or 3 just to space them out and have smaller groups, but we will try to have that. And then we will begin volunteer days, so it won't be a weekly thing, but it will probably be like a once every month, every other month type thing, where we get big projects accomplished, such as like painting or putting in fences or things like that.
Okay, you mentioned being a horse sponsor. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, so we have Patreon. Patreon is like I guess like a kind of like a social media website where you can donate monetary each month. So we all have a normal one, which can be, you know, you donate $1 a month, whatever. And then we have a sponsorship account where you can sponsor an animal at Happy Heart, Happy Home. And it's a great way. So like that money will go directly towards that animal's care. It's a great way to help us offset costs, like, you know, feed and hay. But yeah, and we try to keep you up to date on the animal that you're sponsoring, send pictures, stuff like that.
Okay, Tracy, Facebook Live. Are there any animals that you won't take?
I do not, not out of like, oh no, I never want to take that animal. As of now, we do not have like a space set up for like emus or like maybe reptiles. I don't have any reptiles. Again, not out of like, oh, I don't like that animal. It's just not something that's crossed our path or, you know, we had opportunity for yet. But dogs, we do not take in rescue dogs. Dogs are very tough. It's not like, you know, goats and sheep, relatively, they'll get along. No one has teeth that are gonna like hurt the other. But we do work with a lot of great dog rescues. So if there's an urgent case that crosses our path, one of us has enough hands in the pot, you know, that we can hopefully get that dog into, you know, foster care or another rescue.
This kind of was on top of that one. Someone else asked also, is there certain criteria that they have to meet, the animals, the ones that you do take?
No, I mean, I really, you know, it's kind of always a gut decision. You know, there's lots of opportunity, like times where I'm at a place and there's thousands of animals that need to be saved. And it sounds kind of like crazy to say, it really always just comes down to the universe being like, this is going to be your situation, this is what you got to do, and this is what you got to go with, which is, you know, in a sense a blessing, because it's tough to know that you can't save everybody, and that's kind of something you live with. But there's no criteria. You know, there's, like I said, I'm happy to help any, you know, whether it's just to help them cross over or to give them years and years of sanctuary life and managing, you know, whatever they got going on. You know, we have all walks of medical cases and handicapness and stuff like that. So there's no criteria.
Well, there were 2 comments. I'm just going to read them. Besides, there's a few awes and so adorable and things like that in the chat. But Kelly commented, "You're awesome, Lauren. So happy to support you." And HHHH, "You live by your heart. Thank you for what you do." And Francilla, "The love you give them shows up in the cutest ways. They're so warm to you." And I think all of us agree that that is coming across loud and clear. So
thank you so much. Thank you. Like I said, I do always get like nervous, you know, because it's, you put your heart and soul into something, you are scared of how it's going to be reciprocated, you know, and So thank you. That really, really does mean a lot, you know, and it means a lot to these guys here. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it's clear to all of us why, if you can, you should consider going to Lauren's website and supporting them. I think every dollar, she said, helps. And of course, this is our special week of service, so we hope you consider supporting Lauren and help spread the love amongst all these just incredible animals. You're incredible, Lauren, and it's been
Oh, thank you.
to see the behind
Thank you so much.
all the wonderful, amazing things you're doing. So on behalf of all of us at Girls Night Live, we're really thrilled to have you today.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.